stories unfold, and the chat's got soul. From the gavel to the gas, we're watching it all. Covering the courtroom, big case or small. Laugh when we can, cry when we must, but it's all real talk, you can count on us. We're not the pros, just fans who care, with popcorn in hand and a comfy chair. And every twist, we're right there, together like we're all in the witness chair. This is the Broken Baker, where the trials come alive, where the chat is wild and the vibes survive. We're watching the worst of what people do, but we keep it light, yeah, that's our truth. It's the only place for crime, and it feels just right. We bring the justice talk into your night, so hit that stream, don't miss the call. At the Broken Baker, we cover it all. Oh yeah. We're just laymen with the view, but we ask the things the world wants to. Digging through the facts, side by side. Even when it's dark, we bring the light. No clickbait, no fake feels, just truth and the highs and the reels. With the chat that roasts and rides, we're just here for the case and the vibes. This is the Broken Baker, where the stories unfold, with a smile in the heart, even when it's cold. Yeah, we cover the bad with a wink and a grin, where the real talk starts, come on, jump in. It's the only place to be, can't you see? For trials and truth, it's BBTV. The Broken Baker, where the trials come alive. Yeah, we'll be here, trial and the trial. Yeah.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to not the cop case that we were supposed to follow, but let's get back to the HVAC baby, because yesterday that TV station that has the court case, the cop case court feed started sending out copyright streaming. So it's Marissa has been writing them, trying to inform them that they can't copyright strike court feeds, but no return of anything so far. So we'll have to wait and see whatever will happen, because we can't do anything. I tried to do the video from yesterday in a private session earlier, and it dinged with a warning instantly. So I'm not gonna risk it for the biscuit. So let's get back to the HVAC baby. Hey, anime. So sadly, them are the beans, and the state was supposed to have rested after the last witness on Friday. In the other case, they didn't get done. It was as bad as we expected. You couldn't see anything, and the audio was shit. Every 10 minutes, he would stop and ask the investigator, did she say that? Yeah, she said that. So it was just an absolute S show. On Tuesdays, we do arms, because if you want her to hop on the meat bat ride, then give her an Alaskan mudslide. Your buys and tries better be effing swole. I've said this before, and I say it again. I don't do arm days. I do push and pull days. So, and today I was at the optometrist, so I didn't do anything today. But you don't do the front and the back of the arms the same day. It makes no sense, because your tries are way stronger than your buys, and you won't get the optimal arm training. But as you know, I am a channel who cares. Some would call me a softie, some would call me a bleeding heart. So as always, I'm supporting my good friend, the Twisted Tragedies. This is her wish list, need list. Twisted Strategies wish list for needs for show equipment and, well, equip and everyday items I need and a few wants. I took it by priority just to see what is the most priority she needs for her show. And apparently that's 3 $100 Visa gift cards. She also needs 3 $200 Wish cards. Not as important as the other one. And I had some. You can also give her $200 Uber gift cards or 4 $50 Uber gift cards. If you want her to eat because she has no food, she needs 3 $100 DoorDash gift cards, 3 $150 Instacart cards, and now the first thing for her show, which is a Logitech C922 Full HD camera. This is a 10-year-old camera. I would, I don't know how much it's costing here, but I would upgrade it to the Brio 4K. You'll get a better camera. I'm just saying. You can also give her Hunt a Killer Dead on the Vine, Solve a Murder at a Winery, an interactive unsolved mystery experience, and Halloween mystery party games for adults, perfect for Halloween game nights for ages 14 plus. Again, all of this is stuff she needs for her show. Lot of hunter killers. Again, charming, ultra strong, clean touch toilet paper, 24 rolls. Mama got a lot of shit going through her, so she needs a lot of toilet paper. Then there's some Tide Pods laundry detergent. All of this again to help her with her show. Glad small trash bag, Febreze free clean gas bags. She needs those as well. Some Lysol Click Gel automatic toilet bowl cleansers. Some Stardust the Pink Stuff Miracle cleaning paste and squeezy scrubber spundle. All the things any streamer need to get a stream rolling. So if you have a little spare cash and you think, hey, why should you get a job? Or apparently coming up defense case begins, so they must have rested, but they didn't do it on the show. Interesting. Gabby just wanted to make Baker's Day and say hi to Jamie. Well, Jamie is working. It's Tuesday, so I haven't sent her the link, but thank you, Gabby. And I will not say you are the devil today. Does she stream from the toilet? I don't know, but she has a lot of toiletries on her wish list. I'm just thinking, I don't mind the grift. I am a grifter, but at least if you're putting it up for your audience, then put audience. Or I had that buy me a coffee wish list, and I couldn't figure out what to wish for. I wished for a Steam Deck and a new keyboard and my G.I. Joe figure. Can't see him right now. And a Funko Pop. That's what I wished for. And of course my kitchen machine. Thank you all so much for gifting all of that. But I'm so blessed I will feel bad about sitting here and say, hey, can you buy me toilet paper? Come on now. But if the defense case is coming up today, how much do we think they are gonna put on? I could see her testify. Again, it's kind of a self-defense case, but not really. They weren't allowed to use a stand your ground defense. But I could see her testifying. Did they talk about they had some kind of expert? Maybe it's the expert. If they had the expert, they can just give it to the jury already. She'll be found guilty because he'll be talking about squirrels, dogs, and something. They're going straight for an Alaskan mudslide. You've used the Alaskan mudslide before. Hey, Dodo. Tessia, I hope the weather is great where you're out walking. Maybe I should just I'm gonna wish list that house that I've been looking at. It's not gonna be that expensive. It's in a shitty little town. So it's only a $250,000 Danish. It's nothing. And then maybe another 100,000 to get some solar. 100, maybe 150. Get some solar and get some air pumps. Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my wish list because hey, let's grift high. That was a pipeline. Was that an Alaskan pipeline? No, it was. It's the diarrhea one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because I started writing it and it pops up in my Google searches. Yeah. No, that's the pipeline. Oh, the pipeline was the one with the condom. I'm pretty sure we've looked at this before. No, we haven't looked at this before. I like the second one in the Alaskan mudslide. If it's the one with the little person you're talking about. Yeah. Gross. Hey, ain't no hollaback girl. Ain't no hollaback girl. But do we think that they're going to call more witnesses? Because the big problem is we have that video where he screams and then she pew, 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 pew. No, I can't share that. Det er at skide en dværg på brystet, forhåbentlig hvis du har diarré, og så lave spansk på dem. I can do it in Danish. Oh yeah, Fedorowski has new videos out. Everyone remember to check Fedorowski's videos. I don't know if it's hilarious, but it's I don't know if Brandon, because of all the colonoscopies he's had, has found that he has some new preferences. Who knows? No, the real one. No, I talked about that yesterday, Ellen Greenberg, where they found again that it was suicide, that she stabulated herself 20 times. One of them, which nicked the spinal cord, but they claim that happened during the autopsy, even though 3 experts says nope. And the stab wounds that clearly show signs of being post-mortem. No, it'll be fine. Don't think about it. That's a weird case. And finally, The Rock has come home. And we got Kelsey Fitzsimmons' latest documents. So at some point, I'll go over them and try and see if I can find where the story changed. Because I know Mike and Melanie have already covered it. But sometimes you like your own eyes on stuff just to see if you see something else. I should make this into a shirt. It was a trial in Alaska. I just typed in Alaska to see what makes their toe curls up there, and apparently it involves runs and little people. Apparently it does. Or condoms, and there's a lot of fecal matter in Alaska, apparently. Boom, 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 boom. Chris, you don't, sometimes you don't need to listen. Can we get moving on? Moving on. Yes, Fed videos are the best. For those of you who don't know Fedorowski, he makes wonderful, wonderful nature videos from Norway. Norway is a very special country in Europe because it's very mountainous and very wild, if you can say it that way. So the nature up there is amazing to watch, and it's some of the best if you just need to calm down and not watch drama videos. Go watch him run around with his buddy and chit chat out in the Norwegian wilderness because it's very beautifully filmed, and it's also made with a lot of great music. So you should go check it out. See you, Gapster. More people go missing in Alaska each year than the rest of the continental US. It's easy to go missing up there, isn't it? There's a lot of nothing. So if your car breaks down and you try to walk, there's a lot of nature that can kill you. And Spain, sorry, and Spain. Yes, also of Spain. But Spain isn't as beautiful as Norway. Do they have Taco Bell in Alaska? I don't know, but yeah, they are great for that. Just to calm down and relax, watch nothing. Oh, and today there's also a hearing in. I believe there's a hearing today in the Adam Montgomery trial. He is trying to appeal his case, claiming that the assault and the unaliving shouldn't have been tried at the same time. But I don't think he's gonna get an appeal. I have a hard time seeing it, and I am glad that Crystal Sorry was too lazy to file the papers for the wrongful death suit, so the judge denied that one. A lot of wilderness and bears, yeah. I just find Spain, it's too. Well, I've been to Mallorca and the Canary Islands, so that's islands in Spain. I can't really say mainland Spain. Well, he believes that he was unfairly treated. He's not going to win it. They had Taco Bell at the base in Germany I was stationed at, and that made me happy. They also have a Taco Bell at Camp Afra in Kuwait, which was the only reason we went to Conway over to that base. I think they had Burger King, Pizza Hut, some ice cream place, maybe Dennis. I'm not sure. At Airbase Tuzla when I was deployed, that was the closest one to us because it took us like an hour and a half to get up there. And then if you went to Sarajevo, they had some more. But if you went from our cafeteria to your or mess hall, it was way better the food you got because you got burgers and all the bad stuff. We got regular food. So we really liked going to Tuzla whenever we could sneak a trip to go help relieve some of the medics or something up there. We would go to Tuzla to just get all the good stuff we couldn't get at home and go to the PX because American PXs are probably 20 times the size of a Danish. No, that can't even do it. 100 times the size of a Danish PX. So that was our vacations when you could get like 5 hours to run around on a base. I went and saw either it was the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders or the Lakers girls. I think it was the Lakers girls. Didn't impress me much. And we went to the movies up there because they had movies that hadn't even been released in Denmark. So that was pretty cool. Marissa is the GOAT. Well, Marissa and Jemima are really good at writing angry letters and pulling court documents. But all my mods have special gifts. Brandon teaches you about Urban Dictionary. Jamie screams at me. Anime keeps Rumble in check, complaining that every day is a Monday. Valhalla, he doesn't annoy you because he's not here. Iris, haven't seen her in a month. Farrell, I don't think she's been around. I think she's still a mod. Miami Spice, she comes in and say hi, and then she gifted me a hat. So that was nice of her. Do I have more mods? I don't have that many mods. Cheesy Fiesta potatoes, Doritos shell tacos, and Baja Blast was scientifically proven to make the food test better. I don't think I had any of those. No, it's just run of the mill Mexican food. It's not good. There are places in Mallorca that's insanely beautiful, but you have to take a bus ride to get to them. The hotels are not that special along the coastline at the island. Yeah, and we went down there. It was for my oldest daughter when she got her confirmation. We went down there, and because daddy's a poor guy, so I bought the tickets off season. So we got there like 2 weeks before they were finishing school in Denmark, and it was filled with Russians and British people. And there was this Russian big fat guy, and his girlfriend was clearly in love with him for his big heart and his big brain. She was probably the fakest looking person I've ever seen. And this was a family hotel, but she would be at the pool in a very skimpy bikini and probably like F-cup titlets that was just straight out. And that was a little bit not too family-like, but it was a good one. You have few but amazing mods. Yes. Keep it small, keep it rolling. Our beef is getting so expensive in Denmark because the beef farts and the climate. Well, if Sue is not here, yes, my mods can be used as a completely useless bad example. I didn't know your triceps are stronger than your biceps. Are you stronger when you push or when you pull? Most people will be pushing, but my triceps are stronger. I can still full stack 3 sets of 6 reps, and I can't. My curls are just. It's on a good day I can get to like 50 pounds in each hand. Not good. Drunk Ruskies and drunk British people. The drunk people, the British people came in like 2 days before we flew home, and every night was just hell. Your triceps are like 2 times the size of your biceps. Yeah, if you want to have big arms, every time you do a bicep exercise, you'll do 2 for your triceps. But again, working arms is kind of redundant because every time you do a pull movement, you'll use your bicep. A lot of people, when they pull, because that's for back, that's what we are taught, think, well, I'm only working my back, so I need to go over and do a million curls. But if most people will use their arms before they flex their I don't know, triceratops or whatever they're called in the back, because in reality you should be contracting and then pulling so you can isolate them more. You're here for the bagels. I just bought I think I've had one bagel in my entire life, and I was looking for some garlic baguettes for my dinner. They didn't have any at the store, but they had some chili cheese baguettes, so I thought, oh, I'm gonna get some of that. You've been to Spain? It's beautiful. Spain, again, it's just a little too dry for me, but I haven't been there since 2015, 16, I think, where I was in Spain the last time. It's funny because if we drive to Germany, it'll be cheaper than it is in Denmark. Well, that's a hammer curl. That's good for your if you flex it, it'll be good for your forearm and the peak of your biceps. In Baghdad, they had a liquor store, but Americans had general orders one that we couldn't have it, so we would send it in the Spanish guy without their name tapes on and pretend they were interpreters. Yeah, that's a way to do it. We had a guy who would go to the French PX and buy cigarettes because a carton of cigarettes cost 80 Danish on deployment, while back home it'll cost 200 for a stick of cigarettes. But he then found out that the French had the cigarettes called Gaulois, and you could get 2 sticks for the same price, and they were absolutely horrid. We used to play a little bit of backroom gambling. The MPs, funny enough, the MPs always came looking for that. They had heard that there was a backroom card game going on, and every time they came looking, they never found it. Maybe because the guy who was head of the camp, who had to allow the MPs to come in, was playing cards with us. But when he smoked those Gaulois, they smelled like, ugh. I want a beagle. My dad had 2 beagles, and whenever my wish list is fulfilled and I can buy that house, yeah, I would like to have a beagle. There's some a little bit of room it can run on. Oh, that's the worst part of getting injections. If it gets into the tissue and it just stuffs up. Lived in Spain, it was still fascist controlled. Oh, that's somewhere a while back then. Yeah, for Danish people, nothing beats the fjords of Norway. Fjord is an inlet. You want one of Marissa's pitties? I think all the dogs she fosters has been claimed by Jamie. Well, you wouldn't call them fjords the same way as it is in Norway. But we do have the glue fjord. I'll sell you I am an Simani chicken. I don't like chicken. I think they're noisy and they shit all over the place, and their shit is really nasty. So I don't want chickens. What is going on? You are almost half an hour late. Yeah, that's the problem. We don't have any high places. No, it's too flat. It's way too flat. I've never heard about those. Ah, we don't. Is that why you're always choking the chicken? Yes, I do it regularly because you have to fight bird flu. Newfoundland is gorgeous. That's because it was originally found by Norwegians, Danish, Vikings. Will probably fight over, we'll claim it's ours and they will claim it's theirs. But that's why it's so beautiful, because wherever the Danes go, God follows. Because we pay taxes, so he has to follow us. No, Courtney, we are half an hour late. Defense is supposed to go. I don't know what's going on. I am just talking to keep myself awake. Just wondering what the hell they are wasting their time on now. Gross Mourne National Park in Newfoundland is one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen. Oh, cutie pie. The most beautiful place I've ever been. I think it depends the mood, because I always find the most beautiful, or the place I feel at home, is we have I live by the sea, and we have a bridge, and when the sun goes down, it'll go down through that bridge or behind that bridge, and sitting there and having an ice cream cone in the summer is probably the place in the world that I get the most peace and comfort in my soul. But being in Samat and looking over at Mont Blanc is also, I love mountains. So
prior to any of that happening, I think it was Friday morning, the defendant said that these officers were talking to her when they weren't supposed to be, and she used the word, "they coerced me." Mr. Tomas and myself were in my office yesterday to conduct depositions. He and I were having a conversation where I mentioned I'm likely going to be calling Detective Wilson in rebuttal if the defendant takes a stand and says something to the effect that they were saying things to me, they were trying to push me and convince me to waive Miranda. So I got Detective Wilson's phone number, I reached out to her, and Mr. Tomas was actually in my office, and I confirmed her availability at that time. A few hours later, as I was preparing for today, I called Detective Wilson and asked her kind of what the process was of everything. And she's seen on that interview as well. Detective Wilson advised me that at a point in time, both her and Detective Janoris took the defendant to the bathroom. Her and Detective Janoris, because Detective Wilson was shadowing at this point. She was a domestic violence detective at that point, and she was shadowing both robbery and homicide to see if she wanted to go to either of those units. They're having a conversation about where Detective Wilson is, what she wants to do, etc. The defendant is in the bathroom stall at this point in time, comes out, washes her hands, and goes to Detective Wilson and says something to the effect, I don't remember she doesn't even remember the exact words, but she says, "Oh, you're a domestic violence detective," starts inquiring about that, and then says, "I'm the victim of domestic violence." Detective Wilson at that point in time puts her hands up, motions to Detective Janoris, and says, "You need to tell them, not me. You need to speak your truth to them." The best I can surmise, based off the timeline and everything else, and also her deposition yesterday, which was taken, this is prior to even the first Miranda being read, in which the defendant invokes. I turned that over to Mr. Tomas yesterday, probably around 2 o'clock, I think, and then we ended up taking Detective Wilson's deposition around 3:30 yesterday.
Okay. Well, what's the ask for the Richardson?
Because I turned over a defendant's statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're saying
I violated.
You turned over late discovery.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Do you want to respond? He's saying it's late, but he found out. It sounds like he found out about it yesterday and turned it over upon finding out about it.
Yes, Your Honor.
So the issue is willful inadvertence. Will you be prejudiced in any way at this stage? What the state is saying is this domestic violence detective came in contact with this link even before the statement was turned over, so her identity.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not necessarily seeking to exclude her at this point.
Okay, so we've done the Richardson.
I just wanted to make sure we did that before we did anything else.
All right, so it's inadvertent at this stage because everyone's on notice as to this Detective Wilson being a domestic violence detective and coming into contact with this link. The defense is not prejudiced.
Judge, we don't have to address it right now, but there was another witness that I deposed yesterday, which I believe what he would testify to is outside of the window of what you've already said was relevant as far as previous bad acts. So we can address that now or later. I want to put that on the record.
If I were to call him as a witness, it'd be for rebuttal, and we can address that at another time.
My understanding is the only thing that the state wants to go forward on today, the case in chief, is based on their motion for reconsideration of the jail call, right?
So we also are calling Detective Cruz, just kind of to piece the timeline together. His testimony shouldn't take too long though.
You promised us you would on Thursday.
Other than what's in the written motion for reconsideration.
I'll let Ms. DeLeon handle that.
I read the motion, so if there's anything in addition you want to put on the record.
Judge, good morning. ASA Jennifer on behalf of the state, and Judge, I have copies of the case law.
What I understand is that they learned that some detective had talked to the defendant in the toilet, and she then said, "Don't talk to me," and then talk to someone else. That's what I'm getting, but the importance of it, I think it's because the defense is going to claim she wasn't Mirandized correctly, as they do in every case, and in every case it'll be overturned because you don't have to be Mirandized for it to be used against you.
I cited the printed copies. The only thing the state would want to supplement to this motion is that it's imperative, Judge, to allow this jail call, not only to show consciousness of guilt, Judge, but I think that it's essential for this jail call to prove also it goes to the elements of our crime. Specifically, Judge, to the fact that this defendant lied to 911, Judge. She lied to responding officers. She lied to more than one officer that arrived on scene, acting like she didn't know what was going on, how he got shot, who shot him. It's imperative, Judge, to show as to the depraved mind element to our case in chief that she did this with that intent and depraved mind, because the jail call specifically says, had I known, basically, essentially, in the sum of it,
Had I known what?
how much, Judge, she said 25, and Judge, I can play it for you so you can hear it word for
I
word.
accept the proper. Had I known,
So,
essentially what the offer would have been, I would have.
no, so she goes, Judge, it's specifically like this. She goes 25, 25,
25 means what?
25 years, Judge. 25, 25, I would have cut that motherfucker up, and I would have scattered him all over Florida. It's essentially what the call entails. She doesn't say, had I known, quote unquote, it's just a sum of what basically the state was saying. And it's an additional admission as well, Judge. That's what the state would like to supplement to its motion. And I think it's imperative, Judge, I understand you accept my proffer to court. I think it's imperative that you hear the portion that the state wants to play so that your honor can hear the context of it as well.
I accept the proper. Do you want to respond?
Judge, I think you conducted the proper legal analysis last week. You made your ruling. Nothing in the state's motion adds any light to that. There's no case law that supports their position. You've made your ruling. They've given you nothing to give you any reason to reverse your ruling, so I'd ask that you keep it.
Anything else you want to add?
Up to defense's argument, Judge,
This is the way it goes. You first, him second, you third. Anything else you want to add?
well, just to defense's final point that there's nothing in the case law that supports our position. On the contrary, the case law that I cited in the motions support our position.
The motion for reconsideration is denied. Statement's not coming in, / jail call. It's more prejudicial and probative. It also goes to a discussion on the breakdown of plea negotiations as opposed to 3 years later, as opposed to what she was thinking at the time that the quote unquote trigger may have been pulled. All right, your objections are noted for the record. The next thing I have is If they rest after cruise, what were you going to, how are you going to proceed today?
So, Ms. Link's mother and Ms. Link's son are actually here.
Oh, great.
I didn't know this until late last night. They were jumping on a flight. So I haven't seen them yet, but I believe they're right outside.
Okay.
So the mother, the son, her sister, and her cousin are there, so they're ready to testify.
David Perez?
David Perez, no, he's refused, so, and that's why I asked the court to compel his appearance.
What else do you need from me?
Well, Judge, she's not even a witness, and you don't have jurisdiction over him.
No, hold on. Before I rule on your motion to exclude him permanently, at some point they had contact with him in the last few days, right?
Yes.
After they ignored you, I excluded him without prejudice, you reestablished contact.
Right, so I took 2 depositions yesterday. The state had set him for deposition yesterday. I had contact with him. He agreed to appear yesterday, and then the evening before, Sunday evening, he, without giving me any reason, he just said, I can't make it, sorry. And I advised him, you're on probation. I can ask the court to compel your attendance. I don't understand what you're doing. Just come, get it over with, and you'll be done. And he just said, do what you have to do, goodbye. And that was the last contact.
He lives locally.
Yes. He's on probation in Miami-Dade County.
To the extent that we know he lives locally, because as I mentioned, I don't mean to interrupt, but as I mentioned about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, we attempted to take his deposition. At the time, he said he was at work, and I believe he was either in Fort Myers or Fort Pierce. He has a local address, but that does not mean that he lives locally.
Maybe a traveling individual. The crux of his testimony is really for the incident that happened 5 days prior.
That is correct.
And you would corroborate the argument, the battery, as well as be able to authenticate the photographs of her injury.
Correct. And Mr. Jimenez attacked him as well.
Would any other witness here corroborate what David Perez would testify to?
Pedro Jr. can, and obviously Ms. Link can, she testified.
So
What about the mother?
The mother was not there when the pistol whipping incident happened. The mother was at the home a few hours before Mr. Jimenez died, and the mother did witness interactions between Mr. Jimenez and Ms. Link shortly before she left, which she left a couple of hours before the shooting, and she did witness Mr. Jimenez grab her and be aggressive and violent with her.
So I think we need to address Pedro Jr. He is not a witness right now, and there are a number of different steps before we can even get him to be reestablished, and this court reconsiders whether or not he can testify. I have to take his deposition. If this court recalls, a few weeks ago, I got on a plane, I went to Dallas, I was at the location that we all agreed upon the deposition was going to be taken, and then Ms. Perez, the defendant's grandmother, this witness's quote-unquote witness, because he's actually been excluded at this point in time, refused to provide him for deposition. I still need to take his deposition, which will take a significant amount of time. The rules are pretty clear when it comes to child witnesses.
I looked at the rule 92.55. I was wrong, there's no per se exclusion.
No, but the court has to, they need to be deemed competent. So the court needs to have an inquiry whether or not this individual is
I couldn't
competent.
find it.
I don't know the rule offhand, but I'm proffering to the court as an officer of the court that
No, I brought it up and now I can't find it. So it has to do, I mean, I looked at the rule regarding testimony of a witness under 18, but it really has to do with whether or not you all have noticed something in the witness. And then I can further in.
I don't know, because I've been unable to take this deposition of this quote-unquote witness because he's not even a witness here. I have literally been precluded by the defendant's family from inquiring from this potential witness, which then there is further investigation that needs to be done. There's a reason that depositions don't happen in the middle of trial, right? It's because there's further investigation that needs to be done. There's further witnesses sometimes that need to be brought in and questioned. There's other photographs, videos, etc. of all these other things.
How long are they here?
Well, I don't know, Judge. They just got here. I think they're here at least until this matter's over.
And we need to do that, then the court needs to make a determination whether or not this person is competent to testify, which in the defendant's statement, she says that he's on medication, he has a behavioral disorder.
What other witnesses do you have here that might testify besides those two?
3 of them.
I'm not a fan of this.
So Crystal,
Laylene, Josefina.
did you depose any of them?
I took all 3 of their depositions, yes.
Okay.
And I think that, you know, I know we're kind of doing different things at different times, but I think that the court is
I'm
going
just trying to
No, I
not
understand.
waste this jury's time, allow you to depose Pedro Jr., but the other 3 sounds like you've already deposed.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I think for each of those witnesses, the court is going to have to give specific limiting instructions on what they're able to testify to based off the court's prior rulings.
Okay.
Because
So-
I don't want, and you know, I think that we are, based off the deposition of at least one of the 3 of those witnesses, we are going to come very close to this one of the witnesses, and I'm speaking about Josefina Perez, blowing this entire trial off.
Who would you call after the concludes?
Judge, I would call Crystal and Laylene. I'd like to have a little bit of time before I call Josefina, I have similar concerns, but I believe I can be under control, but I just would like an opportunity to speak to her for a few minutes.
And after Cruz testifies, if we can get in at least one of them before lunch, can you call?
Certainly.
Sure.
And I just bring them in after you rest, or you want me to talk to either Crystal or Lee?
I think that you should bring them in as they get called. And, you know, the additional part of this is I have reasons to believe, based off of the emails that were sent to Mr. Tomas forwarded them to both Your Honor and myself, that there has been violations of the rules of sequestration based off of the email that Josefina Perez sent to Mr. Tomas saying, I've spoken to Crystal, I've spoken to Leyland, I've attempted to speak to David to convince him to come and testify. I have concerns that they have been violating that rule, and that's further, you know, corroborated by the fact that Crystal Barreto was actively trying to log in the Zoom during the trial, despite the fact that we had already invoked that rule.
No, yeah. Apparently, it's family members of her who's going to come in and testify, and they have deposed them, but he's afraid they can't keep their mouths shut about the things they're not allowed to talk about, and apparently also that they have broken the rules of sequestration. Well, they didn't know these witnesses would be there today, but everything in this case should have been done before. It's constantly yapping, and not doing any trial. And when we do trial, the audio is horrible, and we can't see any of the evidence.
I think that there are issues here, and I think that the court needs to instruct them individually.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
they're watching the
one
trial.
is, can you bring in Ms. Perez, so I can tell her not to leave the jurisdiction? until-
Josefina Perez?
Yeah,
Yes.
not to leave jurisdiction
One moment.
with the child until I say she can. Back and forth. I've been informed by
Yes.
Mr. Last. You told me you had some challenges getting here, but now that you're here, you cannot leave Miami-Dade County until I tell you to do so. I'm not the great and powerful Oz. I'm not trying to bring down a hammer on everyone. He's been working very hard to put together a defense. It would be unfair to him
No, I won't do that.
and your daughter. So I'm telling you, don't leave Miami-Dade County, and that's court order, okay?
Madam Honorable, I will be more than happy to step.
As I said in the beginning, they started hitting channels with copyright strikes yesterday, so not today.
I won't do that. I'll just leave.
I'm gonna try to see if you all can't testify today. If that's not possible, then tomorrow, okay?
Very good.
But I don't anticipate me ordering you all, meaning you and Pedro Jr., to
Right.
stay here past tomorrow, okay?
Your Honor, but we can go outside and things like that, correct? So
Oh,
we
yes,
can-
we can. If you recognize anyone that's a juror, they usually have a little card on them, ignore them.
Okay.
Please don't talk about the case
No, I won't.
in the vicinity of anyone, just in case there's a witness lingering around that you don't identify, that you don't recognize it. That sort of makes sense, right?
Correct, and we just got here at 5, so I want to see if I can get him something to eat before he even comes in. He's so tired.
That's fine.
Okay.
You just stay in contact with Mr. Glass so that he knows where you are.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I think there's a possibility that either you or Elaine.
Case
So
at
I'm
12.
probably going to call Leilene and maybe Leilene and Crystal before we break for lunch, so I just need them to stay where they are. Oh, yeah, take care of her to eat something.
All right,
Yes,
thank you, Your Honor.
need something.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so you put on cruise, we take a little break, I bring in, we rest, right? And we take a little break.
Yeah, we can do
And
jailers.
then we bring in Crystal and we handle it like that. All right, we're just telling you the jury's here. So, can you bring in
Maybe
cruise?
Yes. Sure, you can spot that, yes.
All right, let's bring in Detective Cruz.
It's case at 12 who started copyright
Mr. Glass, the
strike.
state gave me another statute to look at, when you step out for 2 seconds.
We have written them to try and hear if they know that they
It's
can't do it.
90.603.
YouTube don't care.
Judge, what's that?
9603, 98906.
Judge are all over the place and it would take her 2 days to figure out where you're going to. Yeah, but they don't do that either.
One of the symbols for the
I said this judge isn't hot. She can't make her mind up and she's annoying. And it will take her 2 days to figure out where you're going to have dinner. The problem is YouTube don't have actual humans looking at these strikes. It's all just bot who auto strike. Yeah, and then you'll have to fight it like I did with Twisted Tragedies. And it's 6 days where you are afraid that if you get one more copyright strike, it's really, really annoying that they can just pull your crap down. Nothing is up with YouTube. Something is up with the channel who has the pool feed from the cop channel. Marissa has written them to ask for permission to stream it a day behind. Of course, using fair use, which should allow me to stream it anyway. But we haven't heard anything, and I just came out of a 6-day ban because of that stupid mass hole, and I don't want to go back to copyright school. Yesterday I was watching Case at 12. They are not allowed to do it, but they'll do it anyway. I was covering the Corey Ritzen's trial and got struck by Sinclair Group, and I got in voice chat with one of the support people, and I said, "This is an illegal strike. You have to take it down." No, I went. I think I sat for 2.5 hours. Jemima was pulling out case law, proving that it was an illegal strike, and they said, "We don't care." I got 70 days where I had to watch my steps. No, I used the human contact. Nothing happened. I spent 3.5 hours talking to humans. Come on. Come on, buddy.
Yes, sir. Raise your hand. Do you swear from the testimony about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Over here, Detective.
Good morning, Detective.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name for the record?
My name is Joseph Cruz.
Okay, and Mr. Cruz, where exactly do you work?
I'm a sergeant in the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office Robbery Bureau.
Okay, and how long have you worked with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office?
Approximately 18 years.
So I want to take you back a couple of years to around June 25th of 2022. What was your job and your role at that time?
I was a homicide detective with the Miami-Dade Police Department at the time.
Okay, and around that time, on June 25th of 2022, did you become familiar with the case involving the defendant, Daisy Lynn?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how did you become involved with that case?
I was contacted by Detective Morales.
No, and YouTube should just release the video.
Were you
instead
given a
of,
rundown of the situation, or
keep
did
it
he just
going.
call you to say come out to the scene?
No, he called me and told me that a homicide had occurred within the city of Homestead.
Okay, now, you're with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office, right? You're not in Homestead.
No, sir.
Why, how does that work that you're going down there then?
Miami-Dade Police Department, or now the Sheriff's Office, is contracted by some of the smaller municipalities, and we handle certain types of investigations for them, and homicides as well.
This just started.
Okay, so, when you end up getting this call to go to Homestead, do you ever go to the actual scene itself, or do you just stay in the office?
No, I responded to the scene.
Okay, was that scene 1237 Northwest 14th Street, Homestead, Florida 33030?
Yes, sir.
Is that in Miami-Dade County?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what time did you first arrive to the scene?
I arrived at approximately 6:30 a.m.
Okay. Now, that's not when this incident occurred though, right? 6:30 a.m. That's how many hours after this incident had initially occurred?
Yes, that's correct.
No, how many hours?
Oh, I'm sorry. Approximately 3 hours.
Okay, so when you're first getting to the scene though, okay, you're telling us it's around 6:30. Do you have any team with you, or are you just by yourself?
No, when we respond to homicides, we respond together as a team.
Okay, now who's on your team with you for this case?
For this case, it was Detective Siapa Hubbard, Daniel Morales, and Melanie Janoris, and Sergeant Jason Waite.
Okay, now, as you're here with this team, are they all there with you at the same exact time, or are you there by yourself first?
I believe when I got there, I was by myself initially.
Were you determined at any point in time to be the lead investigator here in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how does it work in a homicide team as the lead investigator? What are you doing?
In homicide, there is a internal rotation, which determines whether you're up as the lead investigator or not. As a lead investigator, my role is to direct the other detectives to handle certain responsibilities, which I determine need to be done, such as obtaining search warrants or documenting crime scenes, possibly interviewing certain witnesses and subjects.
Okay, now, as the lead, whenever any type of evidence or anything is discovered, are you being informed of this, or are you kept in the dark?
No, I'm being informed of it as the case is progressing from start to finish.
So anytime something's discovered, you're being informed of it immediately then, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does that include whenever someone gets a statement from a potential witness, where
Yes.
they speak with someone?
Yes.
So then essentially, as the lead, everything is being funneled through you then?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to start from the beginning of this case then. You're aware that there was a phone dump of the defendant's phone here in this case, correct?
Yes, sir.
And were you aware, and did you review any Ring camera videos that were captured on that were captured and recorded on that phone?
Yes.
Let's go sidebar real quick.
Okay, so when you went over this actual phone dump, did you happen to see, while you were reviewing it, what time it indicated the actual Ring camera footage was created?
I don't recall.
Okay, while that's getting pulled up, we'll revisit it in a few minutes.
Okay.
Your Honor, permission for the witness to step down?
Go ahead.
Can we make a rule that people that calls to sell you something at this time of the day should just be tossed right into the sun? You had the power all along, my dear. Glinda the Good Witch. I don't know which it's from, but thank you so much, Holly Mac.
So, I'm now showing you a still shot from the actual phone, from the phone dump itself. Do you happen to see the defendant here in this?
No, I had a phone call from a guy who called to offer me to make my website for my company, and I said, no, thank you. And then he kept talking about all the good things that he would give me, some spa retreat and blah, 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 blah. And I kept saying, I'm not interested, I'm not interested, I'm not interested. Then I hung up. Then he called me back. I said, oh, we got disconnected. I said, no, I disconnected you. And then hung up again. I hate these people.
Yes. Okay. And is that the only person that we see in this picture?
No, I know you're a witch. But
now, on the right-hand side, does this video have any type of date or time that this was created?
Yes.
Okay. What time does it state that it was created at?
3:06 a.m. on June 25th, 2020.
Thank you. You can listen. So, we know the video started at 3:06 then, off of what you just stated. After reviewing the video, at any point in time, did you ever hear a gunshot in that?
Yes.
About how long into that video did it take before you heard that?
Approximately 5 minutes.
Okay, so what time would that put that then, when you hear the gunshot then, if you're comparing it to 3:06 a.m.?
I believe about 311.
Okay. Now, after hearing that the gunshot was at 311, do you happen to know when first responders were dispatching officers or fire rescue to the actual scene of the crime?
Yes,
At what time did that occur?
that was around 3:23 a.m.
So there was about a 12-minute gap between the shot and the 911 call then, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, do you happen to know at what time the first responding officer appeared and found the victim in the alleyway?
That was approximately 3:27 a.m.
And at what time was the victim declared deceased?
at 3:40 a.m.
So, now while all of this is going on, you said you arrived at 6:30 a.m., correct?
Yes, sir.
What's the first thing that you do when you arrive on the scene?
I spoke to Officer Nicholson.
And why did you speak with Officer Nicholson?
It's a standard procedure that we do in homicide, just to speak to the first arriving officer on scene to see what they saw and what information they gathered when they first arrived.
Do you happen to remember the time you actually spoke with Officer Nicholson?
Maybe it was 6:33.
Okay. And then after you speak with him and get that information, where does your investigation take you to next?
When I was done, I spoke to Officer Rodriguez next.
Okay. Now, what's the importance of speaking to Officer Rodriguez? What role did he play?
He was another officer arriving on scene. So I had spoken to him to see if he had his body-worn camera on or if he had heard or seen anything else when he arrived.
So was that around the same time that you spoke with Officer Nicholson then?
Yes.
So we could put that around 6:33 then, around that time?
Yes.
Okay. Now, does your investigation just stop there, or do you do something else?
No, sir.
What do you do next?
I briefed the homicide team. They had arrived, and that was at approximately 7:05 a.m.
Okay. Now, when you're briefing the homicide team, is that just assigning roles, or what are you doing?
I brief them on whatever facts of the case I had obtained at that point, and then I also assign leads.
Okay. Now, after you assign everybody their roles and you brief your homicide team, where do we go next?
I actually went around the scene to take a look at it, to see what evidence was on scene, any type of casings, and take a look at the victim who was deceased in the back alleyway.
So you did a walkthrough of the actual property itself?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you're looking around the home, do you remember if you found any type of firearm or any bullet casings?
At that time, no. I didn't see any.
Okay, so you couldn't see anything with your eyes where there was any guns or anything, right?
No.
Okay. So after your search of the area, do you continue to stay there on the scene, or do you go somewhere else?
No, I left and I went to our headquarters bureau.
No, I haven't been struck. But I'm not going to show it because other channels got struck. And I tried to do you can put it in different modes when you go live. So I just did it to see, because sometimes they'll just put in an automatic, hey, buddy, you are copyright striking. You'll get a warning. And I looked and I got a warning within a minute. So I don't dare do it.
I'm in our headquarters.
Okay. And why are you going to the headquarters?
The defendant, Ms. Link, was transported there, and I responded as well with Detective Janoris, so that way we can speak to her.
And at what time was that at?
I believe that was approximately 8:28.
In the morning?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, when you're going over there to that headquarters then, do you happen to know if Ms. Link was in handcuffs or already arrested at that time?
No, she wasn't arrested, but she was detained.
Okay. So was she a suspect at this time?
Yes, she was.
But she was not arrested.
No, sir.
Okay? Now,
And I just got a notice back. We are not allowed to use anything that's copyrighted by KSAT. So we're not
you're on your way at around 8:38 to the actual headquarters. When you get there, do you just jump straight into the interview, or are you doing anything else before?
Usually, well, I know I had made a phone call to the state attorney, and also we have to prep the interview room to turn on the cameras.
Okay, and you did all of those things then?
Yes, sir.
Now, at what time do you actually go into the interview room itself?
I don't recall the exact time.
Would looking at a report that you drafted here in this case refresh your recollection?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
Please take a look at the report, keep your head down. When you're done, look up. Has your memory been refreshed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, at what time did you step into that interview room then?
9:55 a.m.
Now, what exactly are you doing when you're first speaking with Ms. Link?
The first thing we do is we present the Miranda warnings.
Were you trying to get any type of background information?
Yes.
And did you get background information?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Zachary.
Now, I want to direct your attention, you're still here at the actual headquarters, correct?
Yes, sir.
At any point in time, are there people at the actual scene working on the scene or looking for any type of evidence that you're
Yes.
aware of? Okay. What's happening while you're inside the interview room then at the scene?
I had asked Detective Siapa Hubbard to document the scene, and I had also asked Detective Morales if he can start working on a search warrant for the residence.
Okay. Now, search warrant for a residence. Was there ever a search warrant for the residence that was granted here?
Yes.
Okay. And that was reviewed by an ASA?
Yes, sir.
And that was reviewed by a judge?
Yes, sir.
And you guys were executing that warrant then at the scene?
Yes.
And you were informed of that execution of the warrant?
Yes, sir.
At what time did that happen?
That was at approximately 12:30 p.m.
Around 12:30? Okay, so during that search of the home and the vicinity, did that team find anything on the property?
Yes.
What did they find?
They found a firearm that was placed inside of a palm tree.
Okay, now, that firearm, was that found around 12:30?
Yes.
And you were informed of that when that happened?
Yes, sir.
Did they find any type of bullet casings?
No.
Okay. Now, let's jump back over to the interview. When you're speaking with Miss Lynn, do you remember what her demeanor was like at that time?
She appeared very anxious.
When you guys first got in there, though, what type of clothes was she wearing at that time?
I believe she had shorts and a t-shirt on.
Was there anything that stood out about that clothes?
I believe there's some blood on there.
Okay. And did you guys attempt to give her any type of clean clothing?
Yes.
Well, it's harder now that I have asked permission and got denied permission. Then I'm actually in violation of the rules, even though it's fair use. But it's just hassles that you don't need.
While she was sitting there in the interview room, at any point in time, did you guys attempt to give her some type of food?
Yes.
Did she accept any of the food?
She declined, sir.
Now, at any point in time, did you guys begin to fingerprint the defendant?
Yes.
Why do you begin to fingerprint the defendant?
I can't.
What's the reason behind that process?
It will.
For major crimes, it's a standard procedure for the Miami-Dade Police Department.
Okay. Do you happen to remember what time that occurred?
No, I don't recall. Can I refer to my report?
Yeah, if that refreshes your recollection, you can look down and let me know by looking back up that you've refreshed your recollection.
No, sir.
Okay, we'll move on to the next question. So, around what time do you begin to start trying to get a statement from Ms. Lin in the afternoon?
It's around 3:30.
Around 3:30? Okay. Now, what time do you actually enter that interview room to begin speaking with her?
4:20.
So, let's talk about that process right there around 4:20. You enter the room, and what's the first thing that you're doing at that time then?
We had asked her, she had asked if she would like to speak, that she stated that she wanted to speak to us, so then we confirmed, and we read her Miranda rights.
Now, what exactly are Miranda rights?
Miranda was a case law that was passed to protect and advise the defendant or subject, or anybody being accused of a crime, that they are still entitled to certain protections.
Now, when you go over this information with the defendant, are you just reading this to her, or do you have an actual document there?
It's an actual document.
And did you present that document to Ms. Lin?
Yes, sir.
I'm now showing defense with been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 1J.
Didn't he say it's going to be a short one?
You recognize this?
Yes, sir.
Is this a blow-up of the Miranda form that you read to the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is this a fair and accurate representation of that form?
Yes, sir.
Statement introduces been marked for identification purposes as State's Exhibit 1J into evidence.
State Exhibit 1J marked by D will now become State Exhibit number 29.
So, are these the questions that you go over with the defendant?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you have her read these out loud, or do you read them to her?
I have her read it out loud.
Okay, now, what exactly is the signature in yes or no? Is that the defendant's signature?
Yes.
Okay, now, if at any point in time she marks no, what do you do?
We would stop.
You stop the investigation?
Not the investigation, we would stop Miranda and stop talking to her.
Okay. Did she mark no anywhere on here when you're speaking with her?
No, sir.
Okay. Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
Is this your partner's signature right above it?
Yes, sir.
And whose signature is over here on the right?
The defendant's.
So once you go over those rights, do you then begin the interview?
Yes.
Now, at any point in time during the actual interview, does the defendant ever end up describing what the scene looks like to you?
Yes, sir.
Does she make any type of drawings?
Yes.
I'm now showing you a demonstrative of what's already been introduced into evidence here in this case. Is that the drawing that the defendant made for you while you were speaking with her?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Today, June.
So, I'm now playing for you what's already been admitted into evidence as the interview of the defendant. Doesn't have the proper.
State Exhibit number 28.
State's Exhibit 28.
I was really scared. Okay. So, draw me where your house is. So you see on the house, on the other side of the screen. Alright, so I have the porch here with the stairs. So at this point, I'm right here. I got it done. Okay. This is the middle with a white garment.
Okay, so this would be the front of the house.
This is the back of the house.
And this is the front.
This is the front of the house. This is the back of the house. Because the house is out of it.
Okay, so what you're saying, so this is the door to your duplex, and then this was the door to the other duplex.
This is the way.
What's the street?
Yeah.
What street?
Yeah, so that's the street.
There you go. Okay, well, the house is in the right color.
Okay, yeah.
Now,
What?
just to get a little bit of orientation, is this the street that she drew out on here when she was describing it to you?
Yes, sir.
So is it better to hold it like this then?
Yes.
That makes sense, you were saying, okay.
So I'm in the front, I mean in the back of the house. Because that's usually where, I consider the front, that's usually where I'm going.
Okay.
So at that time, I remember once he started taking off, he started running this way. And he said that he was going to run the house and lock me out. Because he was sleep outside, bitch. So I ran right here, I was right here, I saw him right here, and I just shot. I didn't even really hit him, I don't even know how I would hit him, I didn't even aim at him like that, and then I just shot it so he could hear the boom, I think he was scared to run away. The niggas were asleep in the house. I'm tired of being locked outside, I'm tired of this shit.
So as he's running away from you, that's when you shoot?
Because he's running the boat to the single in the house. Because he's running the boat in the house to lock the doors.
And what happens now after you shoot him? What happens?
He was still running, he ran, but he didn't run the house, he ran. So the house in the front is right here, he was.
Okay. Now, your interview room, this recording has timestamps on it, correct?
Yes, sir.
At what time did this occur?
5:03 p.m.
Okay, I see 1703, that's 5:03, it's military time, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, this happens at 5:03. Now, during your conversation with the defendant, at any point in time, does she speak with you about what happened with the gun itself?
Yes.
At what time did that happen at?
It's approximately 5 p.m.
So right around this time then?
Yes, sir.
I'm very worried.
Okay.
And I don't know where he went after that. So I was looking, I walked to the front, I was looking, and I couldn't see him find him. So then I went back in the car.
While you're walking to the front, are you on the phone with anybody, or are you talking to anybody?
No,
Okay, so you're not talking to anybody
no,
as you're walking?
no.
Okay, and where's the gun at this point?
I threw it.
So
What? What's happening? Hello?
And I'm walking.
So, where did she tell you the gun was?
She had threw it near a tree.
Now, it's 5:03, and you testified earlier that the search of the home happened at 12:27. Had you all already discovered the gun by the time she's giving you this statement?
Yes, sir.
At any point in time during this interview, does the defendant ever admit to shooting the victim?
Yes.
And at what time did that occur at?
Approximately 5:03 p.m.
And does she ever tell you that at any other point in time in this actual interview?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you doing in the locker room?
Where did this pistol get hurt? Right. Okay. So just to clarify this, so this is the street, this is 14th Street, right? This is the neighbor's house, and there's this in between, and this is your house, right? Okay. And you're telling me that the shooting did not occur in between here? Okay, what do I say that you're lying about? I'm pollution? I don't know where it was. Okay, that's nice. What if I tell you that I have something that you told me shooting happened? No? What if I tell you that I have you on camera? Okay, and I'll quote exactly what you say on camera. So you know that I'm not bullshitting. Or that I'm not bullshit, as you said. Okay, I'm not going to argue, you'll be fine. That was 10 minutes prior to calling the police. And you were walking with a gun in your hand. You walked towards back to inside your house. You walked back out with the gun still in your hand again. Then you walk by the tree. I shot him right.
Let's say you did. What about that comment that you made?
I don't even remember saying that. Honestly, I don't even remember even saying anything at all. No, he didn't say anything. You said that. He didn't say anything. You're right about that. You said I might have been an argument and I said you would find me. I don't even remember saying that at all. No, you said that.
You said that.
You said that. Not him. He didn't say anything. You said, I might have been an argument. You'll be fine. You said that. And it's on camera. And you're walking with a gun in your hand. Okay. Okay? Listen, I'm not here to play a game.
Now, we just heard in that interview the defendant said, I shot him right here. At what time did that occur?
Approximately 5:44.
Was that used in your determination to make an arrest here in this case?
Yes.
Do you see the defendant you arrested here in this case in the courtroom today?
Yes, sir.
Can you identify her by an article of clothing?
It's the lady wearing a black shirt to my left.
I'm sorry, can you be a little bit more descriptive of the shirt and what she, and
I believe it has a flower pattern on it as well.
Just say,
Your Honor, let the record reflect that the witness has identified the defendant.
Record will reflect.
I have no further questions at this time.
So there's no cross-examination.
that was a whole lot of nothing.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
So just very quickly, I just want to verify a couple things. You testified that the shooting here happened at 3:27 a.m., is that correct?
At 3:27, Officer Nicholson had arrived.
Ah, okay, do you know when the shooting occurred?
At 3:11.
3:11. And you testified a few minutes ago that you yourself began speaking to Daisy Link at 4:20 p.m., is that correct?
Yes, sir.
420.
So would you agree that you began speaking to Miss Link 13 hours after the shooting occurred, correct?
Yes.
And she was, during those 13 hours, she was, during the vast majority of those 13 hours, she was
Well, he
in
got the
constant
beef.
police either custody or observation in some fashion, correct?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned that the police found, or that your team found the gun prior to Miss Link saying where it was?
Yes, sir.
Miss Link was not informed that the gun was found at the time that she informed you all where it was, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so she didn't know the gun had been found, but she volunteered the information and told you where the gun could be found, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's all I have, Judge.
May I see if there's any redirect?
So on cross-examination, you had indicated that she had been inside the interview room for about 13 hours from before the shooting had occurred, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you give an opportunity to Miss Link to sleep inside that interview room before speaking with her?
Yes,
And did she sleep?
she did.
I have no further questions.
Thank you.
All right, state, anything else?
Judge, the state now rests.
All right. They've rested, that means the state of Florida has nothing else to present to you by way of their case in chief. I just need a few minutes now with the lawyers and Ms. Link, so let's go back into the jury room, please.
All right.
Third jury room, please be seated. What are your first question before now? If you want, you can, but.
I mean, just at this point, I haven't put on my case yet, so I don't expect you to grant it, but I'll make it anyway.
Well, the first January is after their, yeah, prima facie case in the light of the rule to the, right. I can reserve, I'm sorry, you can reserve argument until later, and then I'll take it up a bit. All right, I think the witness's name is, I'm gonna keep butchering it, I have to write it out, Lalani,
Leilene Gonzalez.
I just spell that.
Leilene Gonzalez.
L-E-I-L-E-N-E, and her last name,
Gonzalez, Gonzalez.
and then which she property which you'll be discussing.
So she's a cousin of Miss Link. She lives in Texas. She came down with Miss Link's mother from Texas when they found out about the pistol whipping incident. And and she can verify that they were coming down to help Miss Link move. She can also verify that the locks were changed.
But the incident of violence she would be discussing is limited to that.
She can't testify to that.
Well, she did something by receiving information, right? So,
No, she can't testify. The reason she cannot testify to the act of violence is number one. In her deposition, she said she was unaware of it. She says that's adult problems and she was unaware. But number two, that he self-serving hearsay, this is a statement by the defendant. Regardless of its effect, it's a statement of the defendant's own that she uses in her own self-interest. And this court has granted a motion in limine to preclude the defendant from eliciting testimony without self-serving hearsay.
doesn't she take an action that's predicated upon her receiving this information?
She can say that she came down here to help Daisy move to Texas, but she cannot say why, because the only reason she has that information is because the defendant gives it to her mother, who then tells Leilene that we are going to Texas to take Daisy,
So it won't sound like it's hearsay with hearsay.
as well as the defendant's self-serving hearsay.
In fact,
Well, no, hold on, we're not doing this. 1, 2, 3, we're not doing this. Please sit down, Mr. Alfaro, with all due respect. You're going to argue this, Mr. Rubio?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. You can whisper to him, pass him notes.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. You want to respond?
So-
It's hearsay with hearsay.
So they received notice, they received the pictures. There's talk amongst the
Is
family.
Levine going to say, I saw these pictures? I just
I
want
mean,
to
she
make sure.
did see the pictures.
I just want to ensure it's one incident of violence 5 days before, so that there doesn't need to be any further limitation from my part regarding other incidents that Ms. Levine may have seen or observed.
I'm not going to go into that at all. I'm
I
just,
just say if he wants me to bring her in, or at
That's
this
fine.
point, if you've already proposed her, Mr. Rubio, and we already know the parameters of your testimony, Mr. Tomas is proper that, why do I have to speak to her again? I mean, why do I have to speak to her at all?
Well, again, my issue is the self-serving hearsay of the defendant.
Well, it sounds like it's hearsay with hearsay, so it's not coming in. Leilene heard from Josephina that Miss Link may have been disordered.
Right, which is
So-
hearsay, and then her grandfather says you need to go with Josephina They get on the plane, I believe it's that day or a couple of days after the fact, I'm not 100% sure. Daisy comes over to the house, then 5 or 2 days, 3 days after that is when they go over to Daisy's house and she's there to pick up her grandmother at that point in time. That's the extent of what her testimony really can be, other than she tried to form off.
It isn't, you can't ask her, what did she hear? Because we already know it's strictly in hearsay. So you can ask her questions surrounding her travel from Texas to Florida and what she observed and what she has personal knowledge of.
She saw the pictures. She knew that they were there to help Daisy move. She knew that the locks were changed. She actually verified it herself. And she saw Mr. Jimenez circling in the backyard, and she waved at him, he waved back at her. That's it. That's pretty much it.
She can't testify about the pictures because the pictures come from the defendant, which is self-serving hearsay.
She can testify to the photographs if she can authenticate it. That's my ruling over the state's objection. All right, shall we bring in Ms. Levine? Just want to sit in the courtroom, please.
Sure, just a moment.
Is the judge going to allow them to explain that they heard from the defendant she got pistol with 5 days before the incident? That's hearsay. They were not witnesses, even though they might have seen a picture of her with a black eye. That doesn't mean that he pistol whipped her. She could have made up that story. What am I missing here?
Want to just have a seat around here?
Yeah, just have a seat. All right, so can I bring the jury back in?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let's move the jury back.
All right,
Ms. Levine, this is where you're going to sit. Just stay there right now. Once we're going to jury back in, you're going to get sworn and then you're going to sit right here.
Could be someone else. There's nothing here.
All I know is we're in front of the floor, lawyers are in front of the floor, Ms. Levine, you can have seats. Mr. Demas.
Thank you, Judge. Frank. Just have a moment. So, Judge, at this time I call Levine Gonzalez.
All right, Ms. Gonzalez, you can come on up. Jose is going to swear you in.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Okay, come on over here, please, right next to me. All right, Mr. Demas.
And everyone, remember, if you like some older cases, but nicely wrapped at night with your dinner, AJ most night goes live at around 6 p.m. Eastern, where she takes up an old case and just rewatches it like it's new. This week, she is covering someone in Alaska who tried to cover up unaliving. I can't remember why they unalived someone. And they were such amateurs that SAC would seem competent next to these people. So go follow AJ if you like to have some relaxing cases to fall asleep to or get dinner to. She's never on time. I was 3 minutes early today. Thank you very much.
I'm going to ask you questions. There may be another lawyer that asks some questions once he sits down. No one's going to talk over each other, okay? If you hear someone say objection, just pause. I'll get you to pause as well, and I'll tell you if you're going to continue answering or if we're going to move on to another question. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Hi.
Can you please tell the jury your name?
Raylene Gonzalez.
Thank you. Ms. Gonzalez, do you know Daisy Lynn?
Yes.
How do you know her?
She's my aunt.
She's your aunt?
Yes.
Your aunt on which side of town?
On my mom's side.
On your mom's side?
Yes.
Okay. Where do you live?
I live in Texas.
Back in June of 2022, did you also live in Texas?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know Pedro Jimenez, Miss Link's former boyfriend and husband?
Yes.
Now, did there come a time in 2022, in June of 2022, when you traveled down from Texas down to Florida?
Yes.
Can you tell us what the reason is that why did you come down from Texas down to Florida?
There was an incident that my grandma.
Objection, hearsay.
Okay, without telling us what someone told you, just the reason, does that make sense? So you're not gonna say grandma told me, but you're gonna say why you came down, okay?
And if I can just add to that, Judge, I don't want you to tell me what anybody else told you.
Okay.
What I'm asking you is, what is your understanding of the purpose that you were coming down here for? As far as you know.
Okay. Good.
Yes, please.
We were coming down there so that way we can bring Daisy and her kids back to live with us.
Okay, so your understanding was Daisy was going to come back with you and her mother
Objection, reading.
Overruled.
come back
Just
with,
hold on, just grandma, overruled, you can answer.
come back with you and Daisy's mother and her kids to go live in Texas, right?
Yes.
Now, at some point, without telling me the contents, at some point, did you see some pictures that had been sent over of Daisy?
Yes.
Judge, may I approach the witness?
Objection, lack of foundation.
Overruled, premature, you can approach.
So, Lily, I'm going to show you, well, first I'm going to show you what has been marked for identification as States Exhibit A2. Do you recognize what I'm showing you?
Yes.
What is that?
The injury that Daisy had got to her head.
Well, I guess more importantly, is this the picture that you saw, that I asked you about a moment ago?
Objection, lack of foundation.
Let's go sidewalk.
You were told you couldn't do this, and of course you're doing this because you're trying to make it into a self-defense case, but can you really say you're self-defending for an incident that happened 5 days ago when you are the one who goes up to pick him up at a drug house? That's, I don't know. I don't know. I did Google that because he started the day and said that he had it recommended in your chat. Gabby was the one who said, whenever it's my birthday, I go for an Alaskan mudslide. And I said, Gabby, you're a widow. So, yeah. I hate these new clip art tats that a lot of the young people are getting. Sadly, my youngest daughter has a lot of, well, not like this where she has like a sleeve of shit, but she has a lot all over. But I don't like it. Yeah. Oh my. Why is the feed so bad today? She's a grown up.
Marked for identification.
No, it's
State,
already in evidence.
Is that person states?
I don't think, well, I'm going to give it to the clerk in a moment, but what's in evidence, or will be in evidence imminently, but it's marked currently as states, Defense Exhibit A2. Now, is this one of the pictures that you saw before you came down to Florida back in 2022?
Yes.
Does it appear to be the same picture that you saw back then, a true and accurate copy? Has it been modified, altered in any way to your knowledge?
No, it looks the same.
Okay. I'm showing you defense, what's marked as Defense Exhibit A3. What is that I'm showing you?
That's the wound she had gotten.
Is this one of the pictures that you saw before you came down to Florida back in 2022?
Yes.
Does it appear to be the same picture that you saw back then?
Yes.
Does it appear to be altered, edited, changed in any way?
No.
Okay. Thank you. Now, before you came down to Florida, had you seen these pictures before?
Before I came to Florida?
Right.
Yeah.
But you saw them for the first time right before you came to Florida, correct?
Yes.
Well, are you going to introduce it?
Well, so Judge, just formally by, I believe, stipulation, I'm moving both of these into evidence.
All right, well, the state's objection comes in, go ahead.
Okay, Defense Exhibit A2 marked by D will now become Defense Exhibit B. And Defense Exhibit A3 marked by D will now become State Exhibit C.
Eventually, when you got down to Florida, you saw Daisy in person, correct?
Yes.
Did you get to see her head and see if she had any wounds that are consistent with those pictures?
Yes.
And did she have wounds?
Yes, she did.
Were they the same ones that we see in those pictures?
Yes.
Do you know if the locks in Daisy Link's homes were ever changed?
Yes.
How do you know that? Can you explain?
Me and my grandma were going to Daisy's house to do some cleaning and packing, and she had given us a key. And my grandma went to unlock the door, but it wouldn't work, so I tried the key because I thought she was just couldn't do it. And when I tried to unlock the door, it wouldn't unlock. And so we called Daisy, and that's when she had told us, oh, she had given us,
Overruled, you can answer.
Go ahead.
she had given us the wrong keys, and that she was gonna come and bring us the correct keys for the new locks.
For the new locks?
Yes.
Now, at some point, did you and, who's Crystal Barretta?
She's my other aunt.
Your other aunt?
Yes.
Is she Daisy's sister?
Yes.
At some point, did you go with Crystal to pick up your grandmother at Daisy's house?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember when that happened?
I don't remember the date, but I remember the night.
Okay. Can you tell me what you observed when you arrived at Daisy's house, when you went to go pick up your grandmother?
I had got out of the car to go grab my grandma's purse, and as I was walking to grab her purse, I had seen Pedro towards the end of the building walking around, and he had seen me and he said hi to me.
Now, he said hi where you can hear it, or did he?
No, he had waved, like saying hi.
He waved.
Yeah.
Did you wave back?
Yes.
Where was he when you saw him? Was he outside, inside?
He was outside.
Outside?
Yes.
Where outside was he, if you remember?
Her house.
Battered spouse, yes, but the problem is, as Nanya says, she went to the drug house and brought him back to the house. Kind of defeats the purpose of of the, I was in so much danger. You could just have stayed home. Because being a battered spouse doesn't mean that you go out and get the guy who's going to assault you back home.
House is like a long building, and he was towards the very back in like a big space area.
Like in the backyard?
Yeah, like the open area back there.
And what was he doing?
He was just pacing around,
Pacing around?
and he had seen me and just said hi.
How long were you at Daisy's house before you, Crystal, and your grandmother left?
Like 5-10 minutes. We just talked for a second and left. It was late at night.
Okay. While you were there, did Pedro Jimenez ever come inside the house?
No.
And once you left, once you, Crystal, and your grandmother left, where did you go?
We went straight back to Crystal's house to go to sleep.
Okay. Who stayed behind? At Daisy's house?
Oh, just Daisy and her kids.
Daisy and her kids?
Yes.
And the next day, what, if anything, did you learn the next day?
The next day, I didn't know anything. I had stayed, or I was waking up early in the morning, and my grandma was said that she had got a call, and they told me to stay and watch the kids.
Oh, you can answer.
They just told me to stay and watch the kids while they had to go figure something out.
Okay. Did you learn of anything later that day?
That Daisy had gotten arrested.
Okay. And Judge, if I may briefly publish to the jury. And again, these two pictures I just showed you, these were the pictures that you saw, which led up to you and your grandmother traveling down to Florida, correct?
Yes.
So that Daisy could move to Texas with you.
Yes.
Thank you.
This is bullshit.
Do you want minutes to confer? Mr. Tomas, you want a minute to confer? Confer. Before anyone calls.
Yes, ma'am. That's fine, Judge.
Okay, all right, any cross-examination?
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Thank you for being here today. So, I want to go over a couple of things that you had talked about with Mr. Tomas, okay? So, you had stated that you were informed of the reason why you were going over to Florida, correct?
Yes.
Isn't it true, though, that your grandpa was the one that told you needed to go with your grandma?
Yes.
Okay. And that your grandma never told you what the reason was to come over here?
Isn't that opening the door? If she never told you the reason, then you can get into the reason.
Wait, can you say it again?
Isn't it true that your grandma never told you the reason why you were coming over here to Florida?
The reasoning, we've seen the pictures, but I didn't learn till like why after. Cause she didn't want me to go at first cause I had some things going on, but my grandpa wanted me to go with her because she's older.
And to help her out, right?
Yes.
So when you were coming over here, you never knew the reason why you were coming over here then, right?
Not at first.
You were only coming over to Florida to just help your grandma and accompany her, right?
Yes.
Now, You had testified about the photos here in this case that you had seen, right? That was a reason that you found out later on why you were coming over to Florida, right?
Well, I seen the photos, and that was like why we were going there.
But you only found that out later on, right?
No, I already knew about the photos.
Okay. Well, those photos, did you, were you the one who took those photos?
No.
Do you know the date itself that it was created?
Yeah.
Oh, so then you were there for the photo itself, right? If
No.
you know when it was created?
But when you get the photo, it has a date on it.
When you open the photo?
Yeah. And you slide up for information.
Well, these photos, which are defense exhibit
B and C.
B and C, do we see any timestamps on here?
I didn't get a picture. It was through messages.
Through messages, okay. So, you don't know then if those photos were taken a month before then, do you?
No.
It's possible that they were created a month before then, right? Or even 2 months before. Is it possible?
No.
Well, how do you know that it's not possible then if you weren't there when the photos itself were actually taken?
Because when you send a photo, there's a date when it's taken.
Yeah, but can't you go into your camera roll and send a photo from a month before and it says the date that it was sent to you?
Not when it's taken through an actual camera.
So, it's your testimony here today. You can't go into your camera roll on your phone and select a photo from a year ago and send it to someone.
You can, but it's gonna have the date from a year ago?
The photo itself.
Yes.
Did those photos that I just showed you right now have a
You
date
have
or
to look at
photo
the
or anything on
metadata.
there?
No.
Okay, so then it's possible then that those photos could be from another time then, right?
No.
Okay, I'll move on.
And is she an expert?
Now, you had also testified on direct examination that you went with your grandma to go check the lock on the house, right?
Yes.
You were given a key.
Yes.
Who gave you that key?
Daisy.
Okay. Now, you tried to use that key on the actual lock itself, right?
Yes.
And it didn't work?
No.
Now, did you actually see that lock itself being changed?
No.
Do you know whether or not she might have given you an old key?
No.
Is it possible she gave you an old key and not one that was new?
Yes.
Okay. Is it possible that she might have given you a wrong key also?
Yeah, wrong key. Because
Okay.
it was to not the new locks.
Yeah, but is it possible that she just didn't give you the actual key and it could have been to another house or a car? Is it possible?
Yes.
Yeah. And to confirm, you never saw any locks being changed?
No.
And you live in Texas, right?
Yes.
So you don't even know if that's the right key, that actually belongs to a house then, right?
Yes.
Now, when you guys tested the lock, isn't it true that you guys only tested the front door then?
No, I have went to both doors.
You went to both doors?
She tried only the front door.
Who's she?
My grandma.
Just give me one moment.
The keys didn't work. That's why she's saying that they changed the locks.
Now,
You're never gonna find out.
before you ended up testing the lock cell, you had said on direct examination that you had seen Mr. Jimenez, the victim here in this case, around the house, correct?
Yes.
Wasn't it true that he was in the area where the kids play? In the area outside the home, like the little playground where the kids play?
No.
No? So it's your testimony here today that that's not where he was located?
What are you talking about? Like,
When you saw Mr. Jimenez for the first time?
I thought we were talking
That
about
day.
the locks.
He was where?
Are we not talking about the locks anymore?
No, we've moved on.
Okay.
Yeah, so that day when you went to the home,
Yes.
Mr. Jimenez, the first time you saw him when you're here in Florida that day, he was outside in the area where the kids were hanging out, right?
Yes, he was saying hi to Junior.
Oh, he was saying hi to Junior.
Yeah.
So he was near the children then.
Yes, he came to visit them.
Okay. And he was waving at you, right?
Yes.
He wasn't angry.
No.
He wasn't mad.
No.
He wasn't screaming.
No.
He just waved at you, right?
Yes.
Acting like a normal person.
Yes.
And that's at the actual house itself, right?
Yes.
Now, you had testified as well on direct that you saw he never went into the house, correct?
Yes.
Were you there up until 3 a.m. in the morning?
I was there up until 10 p.m.
Okay, so from 10 to 3 a.m. you weren't at the home then?
No.
So you don't know if Mr. Jimenez ever went inside the home at that point in time then, right? Because you weren't there. You don't know if he could have gone into the home after 10 p.m. when you left the home, right?
What day are we talking about?
The night of the incident, June 24th, going into June 25th.
So you said the first day I saw him there with the kids at the playground.
Yep.
Is she high? Yeah, she sounds like she's blasted out of her mind. Well, I don't know.
The day of
And he
the
waved at you.
incident, I did not see him there at all.
So it's your testimony that he was never there that day?
Of the incident, no. I didn't see him there until I went to pick up my grandma later that night.
So when you left the home at that time, we'll focus on the first day, when you left at 10 p.m.
The first day, I did not stay there.
So then, on that day that you see him and he waves to you,
Yes.
he's there at the property. He's not inside the house, but he's there on the property, right?
The day he waves at me, I went to pick up my grandma. It was like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Okay. So then, when are you saying that you saw him and he waves to you? At 1 or 2 in the morning or at 10 p.m.?
1 or 2 in the morning.
Okay. And he was outside
Yes.
where the kids were, and he was visiting the kids.
So that's a whole different day.
I thought you had said that when you waved to him, he was seeing the kids.
Oh, that was on the first day I came there. The night of the incident, he was in the back of Daisy's house. She has like a duplex. The front is right here. He was over here in the middle, in the very back.
What?
Okay, but you're saying that's the day of the incident.
That's the day of the incident.
But didn't you just testify 2 minutes ago that you didn't see him on the day of the incident, you only saw him the day before?
1 or 2 in the morning, it was the day of the incident.
Yeah, but that's what you're saying. You're saying on the day of the incident you didn't see him, but now you're saying that you saw him in the back of the house the day of the incident.
But I didn't stay there. I just,
So did you see him or did you not see him that
I
day?
saw him.
Okay, so you saw him then on the day of the incident?
Yes.
And he was at the house?
Yes.
Okay, so then after you left that house that night on the day of the incident, okay, you could have seen, he could have gone inside the house at any point in time because he lived there, right?
He didn't live there.
Okay, and you live in Miami?
No.
So you know who lives in that house?
Yes.
Because you go there every day?
No,
You're
because
not
they're
gonna
not.
argue with the witness. Ask a question, please.
Do you go to that house every day?
No,
Do you see who goes in and out of that house?
no,
Okay, so it's possible, is it possible that you don't know who lives inside that house then?
no.
Your Honor, just one moment to confirm. Your Honor, no further questions.
Can you read it?
No. It's like in the back, middle of the back.
Did Pedro live in that house, in Daisy's house?
No.
When you saw him in the backyard, it was 1 or 2 in the morning, correct?
Yes.
So the kids were sleeping,
The
right?
kids were sleeping.
He was just walking around in circles in the backyard at 1 or 2 in the morning, right?
Yes.
Leading. He's gonna re-ask the question.
So 1 or 2 in the morning, you see Pedro in the backyard. What's he doing?
He's sitting there walking around, staring at his hands, walking in circles.
He's sitting there, walking around, staring in his hands, walking in circles. Okay.
So you had been to the house on another occasion?
Yes.
Right? Okay. So I'm not talking about the other occasion. We're just talking about the last time you
Yeah.
saw him, which the next day you find out that Daisy gets arrested, right?
Yes.
Okay. And again, just to be clear, you and Crystal went to Daisy's house to pick up your grandmother.
Yes.
Oh,
And you all left with your grandmother at 1 or 2 in the morning, is that correct?
Yeah, we were just there for like 5-10 minutes.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
They drove from Texas to Florida to pick her up, and they stayed there for 5-10 minutes.
please step down to go. Thank you.
What?
All right, folks, we'll go ahead and take our lunch break now until noon. We'll come back so that we start at 1:10 p.m., 1:10 p.m. So if you have a clock now, it's 12, we'll need Roberto will instruct you there. Please remember my instructions from last meeting. Not to talk about the case amongst yourself or anyone else, not to do research about the case. There may be other witnesses outside, folks that you recognize, ignore them, they're under my strict orders to ignore you, as are the slink and the lawyers. Okay.
All right, for the jurors, first floor, please.
Either. There's just shuffling around when she walks out. But I never found out why were they going there, because her grandma had some pictures that clearly showed she had been pistol whipped. So they drove down there, but they stayed there for 5-10 minutes and waved at a guy in the backyard. Wouldn't you take her with you if you are afraid some guy in the backyard is gonna beat her? How long is it from Texas to Florida? I guess it's maybe 2-3 hours at least.
Okay. And then the fourth potentially is Pedro Jr., right?
Well, Judge, I can't answer that.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's the one that needs to be closed. Can you all arrange for the position?
I'm asking my trial coordinator to help me set that up. That's going to be today, hopefully, but it depends on how long we are in trial for today.
Well, let me ask you this. You have 3 more witnesses besides Pedro Jr., right?
Pedro Jr., Crystal Barreto, Josefina, depending on what happens with David and Miss Lynn.
He also needs to litigate whether or not this is really with pregnancy. I'm also asking for.
What? Yeah, we'll just let him walk around outside her house.
The deposition of Pedro Jr. in this courtroom.
Oh, yes.
I need a videographer because the rules require a child to be videographed. And I guess basically by stipulating the video is that I'm doing research about this that accrues as well as there are several statutes, several rules, I think that come into play. And I'm going to if this court is going to reinstate
What?
It is standard. The defendant, I think that we should have a hearing on that. Compensated a minor witness.
You never met him, right?
I'm sorry?
You haven't met him yet.
No, I don't, but.
So at this stage, Mr. Tomas, you have reason to believe that he is not competent under the law. Do you know?
I'm sorry,
The
Judge.
state is suggesting that I do a hearing to make sure that this 11-year-old can testify as a legally competent witness. Do you know?
I'm not opposed to that, Judge. I can tell you, I've spoken to both her kids. I felt that the younger child was not, but I've been speaking to Pedro. He's a bright kid. I think he is. I think he is. So, but
We'll just take a issue at a time.
Before we break, Your Honor, that means with the utmost respect, I'm going to ask the court to stop admonishing the state in front of the presence of the jury.
From doing what?
Well, you snapped at me last week. You snapped at, or excuse me, I don't use the word snap. You interjected yourself to a sponte with no objections to the defense, with Mr. Question. I think it was implying something to the jury as well. I'm not saying that the court is purposely doing that, but I do think that it is implying something to the jury. So I'm going to ask the court to stop admonishing the state in front of the presence of the jury. I have no problem with you admonishing us outside the presence of the jury. You've done that to me plenty of times.
Am I allowed to keep order in the courtroom?
Absolutely. But
And at what
there's a difference.
stage did I tell Mr. Octavio stop arguing?
When the witness wasn't giving him a straightforward question.
When he was going back and forth for about where she lived. I wasn't over.
I want to hear them.
Well, that was so he merely asked when she said Pedro doesn't live there. He said, "You live in Texas. You don't come here every single day." And then the court said you're not going to argue with the witness. She was not giving a straightforward answer. And so our appellant was merely trying to get an answer from her. Again, I don't have a problem with this court maintaining order. I do have a problem with this court admonishing the state in front of the presence of the jury. It does imply, I'm not saying the court is, but I'm saying that it does imply to the jury that something is amiss.
Okay, you and I are just gonna have to agree to disagree. But- All right, thank you all. We'll see you at 1:10.
He has been really annoying, this one. So, and him and the lawyer has been going, the judge has been going at it. He seems a lot like a douche canoe. So, yeah. We'll be back at around 1 with all of the fun, and hopefully they'll fix their link so we can hear what they are saying, and we can hear more of the. I don't know. I was my grandma said. I saw the picture. You know, there's a date on the picture. Maybe I don't know. I'm gonna go. Shut up. I'm gonna go make myself some dinner, and I need my. I just had them fixed today because I got seasick wearing them, and it feels like they're not straight. But hey, that's just like me. But we'll be back later, 1 o'clock ish. Follow on the Twitter, on the Discord, and you will you'll get notified when we go live if YouTube doesn't do it. Your ears are crooked. My ears are fine. Yeah, but she had to switch them because they had the wrong something, and now it feels like this side is a little too loose. But yeah. Hopefully, Sheehan doesn't see me. No, it's fine. But yeah, we'll be back. Apparently they have 3 more witnesses, so who knows? Maybe she will take the stand. That's a thing. I don't know. I think they make me look old. So yeah. Yeah, well, I just had them adjusted today, and now when I'm wearing them, I feel like this side is a little too high. I have to go down there again. So yeah.